Oh, that was a weird delay.
That was. Hi. Welcome to the Millennial Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm gassy, indigestious, diarrheal, buccal. I'm also Brandon.
Unfortunately, Casey's not with us tonight. He got full off of a Cheeto and he couldn't move. So.
I thought the Cheeto would have ate him.
The Cheeto would have still been hungry.
The Cheeto would have been chanting, "Feed me more! Feed me more!"
Oh, shit. But nonetheless, we will keep this shit going now. And,
I think you just like hurting yourself that way.
maybe.
Smash the table. Ow.
Smash the table out.
At least-
Bite my tongue.
You know that's going to happen next episode.
Don't jinx it.
I'm not jinxing it. It's every 3
Oh, it's
episodes.
just a fact?
Yes.
Oh.
Like every 3 episodes. Oh, I bit my tongue.
That shit hurts.
Of course that hurts. You can just be like, "Ow, what happened? What?" Oh, by the way, I tried the New York. I mean, not New York. The Euro chips. Oh my gosh, they were great, dude. Those were up there for me. They were my favorites until I licked the seasoning off my fingers. Then it was like, too much all at once. Like, it was good going in. Just don't lick your fingers. Don't lick the fingers. Because, like, for me, the seasoning was diverse. Just all over. I mean, when you get it, like, all over, like this. All over the chip. And then it's all collected on the finger, and you just lick it. Yeah.
Tear it up.
It's horrible.
Oh, shit, that was funny.
I think that also might be the cause of my heartburn, too. Or those cookies I ate. By the way, acid reflux is a bitch.
It's a bitch.
Super bitch, man.
Heartburn City, bitch.
Yep, which is why I'm drinking some blue water today. It's Mio water. And it's kind of sort of
I wouldn't
helping.
mind some ocean water right now.
Oh, man, ocean water. Yeah.
Sprite with a mix of coconut flavoring.
Yep.
With blue dye.
It's gonna turn your poo blue. You're gonna have blue poo, dude.
I've never had blue poo.
You must not have had enough great products.
That turned mine green.
Shoot, you got lucky. Your stuff was... Hey, you had nothing on that.
Anyway. We're over here talking about shit. Literal shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Tonight's episode. We are going to be somewhat reviewing 2 different...
That was my acid reflux just kicking me in the chest like boom, just
Kicking you in the dick? Why? Please keep kicking me in the dick. But we're going to be reviewing 2 different eras in wrestling. Talking about what we liked from each of them and what we disliked from each of them. And those 2 eras are New Generation
and attitude, baby.
Shall we just... If we're actually saying something and we're offending people, please let us know.
They won't even know.
Somebody from some place that we've never even heard of before this is their language and they're speaking and they understand what the fuck we're saying.
Or they're just thinking that they're saying, kill the infidel. No, they're not thinking that.
Anyway, we will start New Generation or Attitude?
New Generation.
New Generation.
Alright, the New Generation era, a summary of that. It is after the fall of Hulkamania. Basically, Hulkamania does not rise. now in this day and age, it kind of sort of doesn't exist, but it does technically exist.
They were starting to build up with newer stars.
Right. Because, Hulk Hogan left the company. He was like, so long, brother. I'm going on to greener pastures, brother. I'm going to WCW, brother.
Well, before that it was Miami Vice, wasn't it? It was something Vice, wasn't it?
No, it was Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise. I knew it was something like that. Whatever. I never watched it.
Hey, it was still a funny movie.
Well,
funny by, wrestler acting standards, which means it was shit.
I've never seen it, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, you want to know something else? I haven't seen it. Millennial guys review Thunder in Paradise.
Oh god.
Oh man, I would not like that episode. Not at all.
Well, I might just for the fact of how much we're going to be bashing it.
Yeah. Hey, Rift Traps will probably sell those for like $3.99.
Millennial guys review Suburban Commando.
The Millennial guys review Mr. Mom.
Millennial guys review. Okay, we're not just going to stick with Hulk Hogan movies. Millennial guys review Knucklehead.
Millennial guys
and
review
I'm a dumbass
The Chaperone.
And I actually bought that movie.
Wow, you really are a dumbass.
It came with an extra movie. It came with like an extra bonus DVD. And I
Legendary?
No, it was like a WWE's biggest something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just got it for that.
I hope you didn't pay no more than $20 for that.
It was like maybe $11.99.
Oh my god, you still paid too much. It should have been like $9.99, which it's on Netflix, I think. Methinks.
I don't know. I didn't care for the movie. It had its funny moments. I will say that. Other than that, it was nothing too impressive. Like pretty much every other WWE movie.
Right.
The Marine.
The Marine 2.
The Chaperone.
Legendary. Holy shit.
The Marine 3.
The Marine 4. Moving target.
12 rounds.
12 rounds 2. 12 rounds 3. Starring Dolph Ziggler. But the New Generation era was basically the era where they had to rebuild from the heroes of Hulkamania, going through the dark times of wrestling. No matter how you see it, it was the dark times. Basically, anybody that you knew from the 80s going on into the 90s kind of had
a smaller role.
Had to have an exodus out of the company, so to speak, because there was a steroid allegation going on around there.
Superstar Billy Graham.
So anybody who may or may not have allegedly had steroids in their system got the fuck out of town. That left room for the smaller guys to actually come in there.
Bret Hart, British Bulldog, Mr. Perfect, Shawn Michaels.
Right.
Some of the greatest of all time.
And Owen Hart. You gotta remember about Owen Hart. That's New Gen anyway.
Yeah.
Number 2, it left room for the bigger guys. Not just like, the muscle-bound, jacked-up beefcake guys that aren't Brutus. Like your Kevin Nash, your Diesel, your Vader,
Diesel
your
and Kevin Nash are the same person.
Whoops. Your Diesel, your Yokozuna, your Vader, Sid, Mabel.
Men on a mission.
Like all those big guys.
I couldn't take Mo seriously.
Nobody could. I couldn't take Mabel seriously. He was purple and gold. He was my school's colors.
He was my school's colors.
Damn, that's a fucking weird coincidence.
Purple and gold.
Mm-hmm. Tigers, bitches.
Tornadoes, bitches.
Damn curves, tornadoes. I mean, goddamn.
Purple and gold. Yep. Even though the gold always looked yellow to me.
Yeah. And then came the Attitude Era. Oh my gosh. Trainwreck TV at its finest.
Vulgar language. Nudity, even though they did blur it out.
Cat fights!
Anything you could think of. It's like Jerry Springer wrestling.
Yeah. all headed, creatively by Vince Russo, and all this in the middle of the Monday Night Wars.
And if it wasn't for Vince Russo,
right? Vince Russo turned the tide either way.
Exactly, and Vince McMahon doesn't give him enough credit.
Right. The one weird thing about both the New Generation era and the Attitude era is the fact that they were both part of the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
Because WCW was just gaining popularity in the New Generation era, and in the Attitude era, it was a fierce contest between the two. Even though there were, veiled references to WCW, like the Nacho Man and the Huckster, Billionaire Ted. And that's New Generation.
New Generation also saw some of the greatest matches in the WWF.
Yes.
Such as British Bulldog versus Bret Hart. SummerSlam 92. When did 92?
I think so.
Yeah, and which stadium was it?
Wembley.
Wembley Stadium, the main event for SummerSlam.
That comes up at least once every few episodes too.
It was perfect. Literally, there was no flaw in that match.
And then you also had Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon, WrestleMania 10 ladder match.
The first ladder match.
Very first one that they had.
Technically,
that
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the first ladder match in general, but
you also had,
and you had the rematch.
Yeah. And then somewhere along the tail end of the New Generation era, beginning of the Attitude era, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 13.
The company's first ever double switch.
Yes.
And they pulled it off really good. Mm-hmm. They pulled it off perfectly. Now, I'm not saying that the New Generation had the best matches of all time, because I can give you one right now that was one of the crappiest matches of all time.
Diesel versus
Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 11.
No, Diesel versus Mabel, the worst match of the entire.
Okay, I'll agree with that.
New Generation era.
I will agree with that, but I'm sorry, but whenever you're about to finish a match and you cannot take a powerbomb, that was shit. It ruined the match.
Dude, just think about this right here. Mabel, the former King Mabel, got a fucking title shot.
I know. Well, so did X-Pac. Against Bret Hart. But think, Shawn Michaels could take a powerbomb from Sid, who was one of the worst wrestlers. But Kevin Nash, who was actually an accomplished wrestler, could not take a powerbomb from him. Explain that.
I don't know. Oh, by the way, the New Generation era was the start of our legends, our 90s legends. Like your Bret Harts, your Shawn.
And some of the other legends that nobody really talk about anymore.
Mankind, Goldust,
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Whew.
Well, they don't necessarily have to be legends, but some that we liked seeing back in those days. Tatanka. I liked seeing Tatanka. Mm-hmm. Who else?
Bob Backlund. Yep, still New Generation.
I know.
He was being weeded out, but he still
won the title against Bret Hart. He was still relevant somewhat. Till he lost the title in 8 seconds to who?
Diesel, starting his reign. But there's this weird thing with Bob Backlund in the 90s. According to everyone, Bob Backlund could not have a good match with anyone unless it was Bret. Seriously, nobody in the 90s.
That's why he wanted to work so much with Bret.
Yeah, so it was Bob Backlund and Bret Hart. Bob Backlund and Bret Hart.
Bob Backlund and Bret Hart.
So many times.
Yep. We'll name some people that some fans probably have forgotten that were in the New Generation.
Yeah.
Hakushi. You remember him?
No.
He was like the Asian one that had like all the symbols. That always had the white on.
Oh yeah. Hey, Fatu.
Skinner.
Nails. Big Boss Man.
Was he known as Big Boss Man at that time?
Yes.
Yes. The Mountie.
Brian Pillman.
Rest in peace.
Yep. The beginning of the Stone Cold Steve Austin character. It wasn't, we did have Stone Cold Steve Austin. We had to kind of build his character for a long ass time.
Jim Neidhart.
The Undertaker.
I had a dream I was actually having a conversation with Jim Neidhart.
Hey, how's your daughter?
No, I was just sitting there talking to him.
Oh.
It wasn't about wrestling or anything. I just had a dream. I walked up to him and started talking to him.
Dude,
I don't know.
Dude, I dreamed about naked women. You dreamt about Jim Neidhart. Something's wrong there.
Hey. He was a great wrestler. I'm sorry, I am a real big wrestling fan.
He's a super huge wrestling fan. It's way too big of a wrestling fan.
If only Dorothy was a wrestling fan.
We can't ever just wish that. Because then, hey, she'd probably want to be a wrestler and then be pushing the hardest for you to quit everything and go wrestle, making way less than you were making
Sable?
now. Yeah, Sable. Oh, yeah, Sonny, the Body Donnas, Cloud, Skip. Dang, it was so much in the new generation.
Barry Horowitz.
Barry Horowitz actually had a memorable feud.
With Body Donna Skip?
Yes.
Where he got his legitimate first win.
Mm-hmm.
And the call whenever JR called it. Horowitz wins! Horowitz! And that was legitimate excitement on the part of Jim Ross.
Yeah. Jim Ross, pre-Bell's palsy, was an asshole. No, I think Jim Ross was just like a lifelong asshole because I was listening to a podcast done on In Your House Mind Games, and every single move that was done, Jim Ross is kind of hinting towards Vince, like, isn't that a nice armbar? Isn't it this move, that move?
Hey, he was just trying to be a legitimate commentator.
Of course.
So you can't blame him for that.
What a maneuver! This maneuver!
maneuver!
That maneuver! Damn. New generation was the era of maneuvers.
What a maneuver! Walking down to the ring. What a maneuver! But some of the wrestlers that you saw in the new generation, once the Attitude Era got started, had a few changes.
Yeah.
For example,
No Bret Hart.
okay, I wasn't really going that
that's
route.
half of it, but yes, after a certain point in the Attitude Era, no Bret Hart.
And that right there, which was from the Montreal Screwjob, that's when the new generation Mr. McMahon actually became what you know as Mr. McMahon.
He went from the announcer
to the boss.
To the boss. I mean, goddamn.
That's when it happened.
Yes.
That's when it clicked. And some of the stars that you saw, like the Godwins.
The Godwins, yo.
One of the
Triple H, yo.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the
Blue
Blue Blood.
The Blue Blood. In the Attitude Era, he was the Game.
He was the Game, Triple H. He was married to the boss's daughter.
Yes.
Wait, we actually got introduced to Stephanie McMahon in the Attitude Era, yo.
And if you think about it, then that means the Headbangers were actually part of the new generation. Wow.
Whoa. Holy shit, man.
In the new generation, the Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart Gunn. Attitude Era, you got the New Age Outlaws with Billy Gunn and Road Dogg.
Yeah.
Complete
Wait. Don't you remember the Roadie?
The Roadie, whenever he was with Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, shit. And he was there, too.
Huh?
Dude, yeah, I'm talking about Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah,
Both
Jeff
of them.
Jarrett.
Like, it's like everybody just stayed over for years years.
Yeah, man. Jeff Jarrett in the new generation, he was this big country, ain't I great type of person. Then whenever the Attitude Era came, he was a sexist
misogynist.
Asshole. He was a sexist asshole.
The sexist, misogynistic asshole.
Yeah.
That if he was in wrestling today doing that same gimmick, oh my God, he would have been booed out of the entire country. Thank you, sensitive freaks of the internet.
Phineas Godwin, he became Midian in the Attitude Era, part of the Ministry of Darkness. I didn't know that. Brandon didn't know that. And the only reason we found out that is because we were looking up win-loss statistics of big pay-per-views. And we happened to run across Phineas Godwin, and then in parentheses it said Midian. And we were both shocked as hell to see that.
Then you had your Justin Hawk Bradshaws becoming just Bradshaw. And finally getting on some pay-per-views. Like, this man seriously had a 9-month streak of not being on a single pay-per-view. Hey, remember how relevant Savio Vega was?
You know, I was reading an article about Savio Vega yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, talking about his time in the WWF, what he liked about it, and he said he loved working for WWF.
Yeah, everybody especially loved seeing him and Steve Austin strap match.
You and me often Austin Caribbean strap match. Wrong. That's the wrong accent, but I'm going with it. He wasn't the best, but he wasn't the worst. The biggest problem I had with the new generation, too cartoony with some of their stuff.
Like, they were still trying to transition from super cartoony to more realistic. And instead of having more characters, they were weeding out the characters, but they did make 1, 2, 3 major characters. Goldust. Wait a minute. 4. Isaac Yankem, Goldust, The Undertaker, and who was that last character? There was another character that was created during the New Generation era. I forgot who.
And he was still around during the Attitude Era?
Yes.
Let's see, Mabel, whenever he went from Mabel to Viscera.
Yeah.
Which was a great change. It was a great change.
It was a necessary change.
It was.
Holy shit.
Because that Mabel thing was not getting over.
Right.
And who do you know that's that big that can do an amazing spinning heel kick?
Right.
Who else?
Goldust?
Let's see, there's Goldust, there was Dr. Isaac Yankem.
Yeah, Goldust, Dr. Isaac Yankem.
I mean, you had Mankind.
You had Mankind. Yeah, that was it. Goldust, Undertaker, Mankind, Isaac Yankem. Those were your 4 New Generation characters. Even though the Undertaker is from... Jesus! Undertaker is from the Golden Era. Slightly. Very slightly. Ever so
he
slightly.
made his debut in 90. So, it was right at the end of the Hulkamania thing.
Yeah. Right at the end of Hulkamania. Still... Jesus, though.
Yeah.
Undertaker's career spans my entire life.
It's been longer than my life. Because I was born in 91.
Yeah, like, I think both him and... Oh, dang it, acid reflux is a motherfucker. So if you see me frowning up, this shit hurts.
I wish the New Generation could have went on a few more years.
Do you really think it would have had a few more years?
It wouldn't have had the time to do it, but I wish, the wrestling-wise, I wish it could have went on a few years, because that's when we got some of the best matches.
Yeah, and then compared to the Attitude Era, you have the shortest fucking matches.
They'd have a lot of matches, but none of them lasted more than, 5 minutes?
Right, and, like, it wasn't really building up to, like, major matches on the pay-per-views like the New Generation era was.
And there's one thing I want to bring up. What? Attitude Era title changes. How many times does it have to change within a year? Changing once every freaking month. Sometimes multiple times in a month.
Yeah. Like, say, Kane's one-day reign. Holy shit, a lot of people had some short reigns. Compared to the New Generation era, Diesel was champion seemingly for a year.
Shawn Michaels had his run 9 months.
9 months.
That was his longest reign. Before Hulk Hogan had to come back. No, I'm talking still New Generation. WrestleMania 10 when Yokozuna beat Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Then Hulk Hogan just walked down and actually, for some reason, got a match and beat him within under 2 minutes.
Yeah. I'm Hulk, brother. Leg drop. Big boot leg drop. I win. I'm
that
out.
was crap.
Yeah.
He did not need that. To me, he stole that from Yokozuna.
Yokozuna deserved to be a great champion.
He did have a decent reign.
After that point.
Yeah, he really did.
But no, Hulk had to come in and ruin that shit.
Hulk Hogan was a dick. Still is a dick.
Yeah.
I don't like Hulk Hogan.
Dick.
People hate me all you want. I've never liked Hulk Hogan.
Nobody cares whether they... Look, Hulk Hogan... No. Nobody likes Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan doesn't like me, but I'm not 8 feet tall.
Back in the Hulkamania days, I was a Macho Man fan.
Right.
I prefer Brutus Beefcake over Hulk Hogan, and that's saying a lot.
Yes. No. Yes. No. I'm sorry, but the Dungeon of Doom was around in the New Generation era. Man,
I prefer Rowdy Roddy Piper over Hulk Hogan. Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff over Hulk Hogan.
Everybody. You could have been the lowest person on the... Doink the Clown over Hulk Hogan.
Yes. Because Doink the Clown was a legitimate good wrestler.
Yeah. Hey, Hulk Hogan. Shits. I need to stop calling Hulk Hogan the shits, but he was the shits. He was the drizzling shits, brother. But he could get people in the building, brother. Well, let me tell you something, brother. Dude, Jack, Luger, brother, Macho, dude. I really got to start doing that shit.
It was painful.
Of course it was painful.
But I miss the matches of the New Age era. That's to me, that was the biggest thing I did not like about the Attitude Era. Yeah. They never gave time for matches. Everybody
did have a role on the show. From the very top of the card to the very low card. You had something to do on the show. That was like the major era where everybody had something to do. No other era has come close to that.
I agree 100%. And they did it in such a... And we got 3 hours now. They had 2 hours. They
had 1 hour in like New Gen.
Yeah, New Gen, whenever it first started in 93, they had 1 hour.
Yeah. 1 hour that and 1 hour Superstars.
And 1 hour they did maybe 3 or 4 matches and that filled up the whole hour. That's what we need to go back to.
Right.
We can have maybe about 3 or 4 maybe backstage interviews. We don't need segments, we need interviews.
Yeah, just maybe 60 seconds to try to sell your match. And then it's on to the next match.
We need to go back to the way they used to build up people. If they want somebody to build up to be a star, start them off wrestling jobbers. Think Triple H.
Yeah.
Whenever you first saw him in the Blue Blood gimmick, who was he wrestling?
Jobbers.
Exactly. That's how you learn. That's how it was done back in those days. And I know this was NXT as for slightly, but still, there are still people who don't watch NXT.
Yeah.
Why, I don't know.
Well, because they
don't have that
fucking network.
But if they did have the network, why wouldn't they watch it?
Right.
But I mean, still, even if it's their debut on the main roster, they still need to start out small. Once you get to the main roster, that doesn't mean you've already paid your dues. No, you paid your dues in NXT, not the main roster.
Right, which is why people need to stop getting upset over people getting squashed on the main roster, like Neville, or being relegated to lower parts of the card, like Neville, Bo Dallas, or hardly even being used at all, Bo Dallas.
And for us, I mean. Like, we were mad whenever Owens lost to Cena in the third time. I mean, yeah, we still wanted him to win, but, I mean, he hasn't been there long. He needs, like I said, to pay his dues.
Yeah, and
they just pushed him up too high too fast. Way too fast.
They didn't push him up too high too fast. Excuse me.
He shouldn't have started off that
he was pushed as high as he could as a heel, because we have a heel world champion. Think about that very carefully. got a heel world champion, and your top babyface is U.S. champion. Have him go against the top babyface. That worked in its own dynamic. What was he gonna do? Go for the world title and have it be heel versus heel, where the heel, for some reason, whatever fucking reason, changed his face. Like no apparent reason.
No. He didn't have to be pushed up there against John Cena for his debut. That's what I'm saying.
It made an impact. It made people know who he was and what he was about.
To me, it doesn't really matter, because if you're that good, you can make an impact even wrestling a jobber.
Right, but that was high impact.
Yeah, and look what it did to him now.
It's got him slightly lower, but he's got to build back up. He's in hold. I'm figuring like he's in holding when Seth Rollins probably becomes babyface. Go after him. That would be one of the best scenarios. But this is not about this era.
Yeah, but still. But I still like it the way they used to do it. That's just me.
While in the Attitude Era, yeah, you were built up, but you got built up, but you were part of something. Even a minor cog in a major wheel having something to do. Like everything built up towards that Monday. Your pay-per-views weren't important. They had to build up towards Monday to be the next show, the ratings juggernaut, beating out WCW. That's how it had to be. Like your pay-per-view matches, that was the one time where pay-per-view matches had absolutely no consequence or even negative consequence towards any storylines. It was just filler. Like every pay-per-view, well, not every pay-per-view, but a lot of the pay-per-views within the Attitude Era were just fillers for Monday. Filler for Monday. Building up, like, throughout the pay-per-view for Monday. Like, you paid, say, $40, $50 at the time just building up for Monday. When you can see stuff on free TV.
And we can go back and watch it for only $9.99.
And also, the New Generation Era would build up to the in your house pay-per-views or the major pay-per-views, and they would slightly build towards Monday. It wasn't that aggressive push towards that. Anything else?
Let's talk about women in the Attitude Era.
Puppies.
Keyboard smash.
Puppies.
That's what it was about in the Attitude Era.
Right. You had all these models, all these future Playboy models, and maybe one.
Nice bodies, big breasts.
Maybe one or two
that could actually wrestle.
Female wrestlers.
Yeah.
But you want to know something? Your one or two actual female wrestlers were significantly fucking old. Moolah and Mae Young. Oh, shit.
Do you want to see her puppy? That was so wrong.
Yeah, she...
And the whole Mae Young Mark Henry thing.
Well, Mark Henry is now one of the most memorable feuds of one of the most memorable storylines of all history. He submitted that in the weirdest way. And yes, Mark Henry was from New Generation.
Yep.
First pay-per-view match, Jerry Lawler. Oh, by the way, commentary. See, there's not much to speak of the women. Like, let's see, who were actually wrestlers in the Attitude Era?
Like wrestlers, like women wrestlers or male wrestlers?
Women wrestlers. Well, there was Ivory, Jacqueline.
You had the Cat. Lita,
Trish,
Terry Reynolds. Even though she didn't do much.
Ivory, Jacqueline, Tori.
You already said Ivory and Jacqueline, didn't you?
I don't know.
Let's start over. Jacqueline, Ivory, Tori. Do you want to count Terry?
No.
Okay. Ivory, Jacqueline, Tori,
Molly Holly,
Lita, Trish, But during that time...
No, Trish had to get better. Trish was developing on TV, so yes.
I was just going to say, during her run as TNA, she wasn't a wrestler. She was just a manager.
Who?
Whenever she was managing Test and Albert?
Yeah.
She wasn't a wrestler. She was just a manager.
Yeah. But she had started transitioning into wrestling during that time. It was still in the Attitude Era.
Who else? That was about it.
That's it. While New Generation, we had Alundra Blaze,
Bull Nakano.
Shit, no wonder they
Bertha Faye.
No wonder they didn't have a women's title.
Bertha Faye. That was a Rockin' Robin? Or was that...
I don't know.
Oh.
Sunny, no.
She never wrestled that much.
Wait. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sable, she was transitioning during like the closing end of the New Generation era.
Sunny used to wrestle in Smoky Mountain, but not
WWF.
WWF at the time. Get the F out. Man, that was shit. Anyway, commentary. Jerry Lawler. I gotta say this. Jerry Lawler was the shining gem.
He was. All those jokes he had.
Jesus, how many jokes could he make about Bret Hart's family? That man was on fire, and each and every one of those jokes, rapid fire.
And it wasn't just on Bret Hart's family. It was against whoever.
Right.
The people he was wrestling, or just two random guys that were in the ring. Even the midget wrestling that they had going on during some of those times, he would make fun of them.
Yeah.
So he had no limit to who he would and wouldn't make fun of.
Right.
Which worked out well for him.
And in the Attitude Era, the jokes were still there. They were still just as sharp. They were a lot more raunchy, in between all the puppies.
That's you heard puppies at least what?
12 times per episode?
Yeah. You heard it.
But you have him bouncing off of JR, who was basically the straight man to the King's Funny. Or the dick to the King's Funny.
I'm sorry, he was a great commentator because he actually called the matches. That's what I like about JR.
Right. But
he was in it for the wrestling.
There were times that when JR wasn't just calling the matches, he'd be a dick. Like, he was a huge dick in the Attitude Era.
He was, but still.
I think overall, Jim Ross was a dick if he's not commentating on the match. If it involves something else besides that match, he's a dick. But he was a huge dick.
I miss him and Jerry Lawler as a commentating team.
Right.
Because what we got now on Raw, JBL, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton.
And nothing basically has any kind of relevance.
No.
They're trying to get into Witty Better, small talk and all this other stuff while the match is going on. Oh, not exactly calling any moves while the match is going on. Oh, this stuff is happening. Oh, wait, look. Oh, look. Michael Cole, shut the fuck up.
Look at that move there.
Shut the fuck up with that shit.
And you can yell on social media using the hashtag. Ugh. That gets annoying.
Yeah. But hey, this is what Vince is trying to sell. Because of the money.
Stop thinking of yourself, you greedy ass bastard, and give the people what they want. Wrestling.
Yeah.
And if you don't, fuck off.
Right. Do we have anything else to say about the New Generation era? And Attitude era? Dude. Ending it?
Yeah, we'll end it.
Alright.
Alright, well, we kind of... This is not bad, 40 minutes. I mean, decent episode. But that was our episode for this time. There will not, as far as I know, you might change your mind.
Oh.
Okay, they're not going to be changing their minds, so there will be no episodes.
Don't even say that. Don't say that. There may not be something next week. Because, hey, Chris is going to be gone. He's saying sayonara for a while. He's actually taking a break. He's tired. He's tired of turning strawberry every time he comes to work and has to work solo. So he really needed some time. He really needs some time to rest, recoup, and maybe, hey, without all the stress, some of the hair might grow back up here. Yeah. Yeah, see, you won't be strawberry. Your blood pressure will be normal. You might even lose a few pounds.
Knife chop.
I know we both can stand to lose a couple of pounds. Our fat asses. But for the Millennial Podcast, I'm Brandon. I'm luxurious as always. This is Chris. You can be luxurious too. I mean, all you have to do is just grow a fantastic beard.
Oh, I got something going.
Yeah, you got something going.
I think it looks pretty badass.
Yeah. Now, if only...
And I do it myself, actually.
I do mine myself most of the time. Yeah, why you think it's like this?
I tried to get Dorothy to do it, but she fucked it up last time. I love you. Like it was this right here. It was going this. It was this far out. Then down to here. Then down to here.
Wow.
Do it.
Itchy hand. Nervous. I'm gonna mess you up, baby. No, I don't want to mess you up.
I only took a little bit off. Nobody will notice. Somebody might notice that one.
Yeah. And we're saying sayonara.
Until next time.
Sayonara. Bye bye.